Hey guys, welcome back to Cajun Hard Talk. Today we're talking the Autopsy of Jane Doe from 2016. Grab a beer or a cup of coffee, let's talk some horror.
Anyway, like I said, today we are talking 2016, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. It's a story about, pretty much spoiler alert, it's in the damn title of the movie, it's a Jane Doe. Unknown bodies found in the middle of a crime scene by some sheriff's office officials or some police department officials. The cops are there because there's a bunch of people dead. They find this girl at the bottom of the, I guess a basement, I guess it would be.
It's a basement with like a dirt floor.
Yeah, she's on a dirt floor, and she's, for whatever reason, they had this big point of making sure we saw this dead girl's titty, like right in the first 30 seconds of this movie. I'm not really unsure why.
It was like an episode of Game of Thrones with the tits hanging out. It really was.
Well, I mean, how about Game of Thrones? I mean, all of those were alive, weren't they? I've never seen Game of Thrones. Was there an abundance of dead titties in Game of Thrones?
No, but there were definitely a lot of titties.
Okay.
Alive and otherwise.
Well.
So, opening the movie, you find the older couple that's dead, like you said, and what they think was a home invasion gone bad. They think the guy was going in there to dump the girl's body down there to bury it, and the old couple came home. So the sheriff, because he needs to find out who this girl is tonight for the press, which for some reason he's worried about the press in this little bitty small town.
I don't understand what the whole.
That was a little plot hole there. I mean,
I'm not sure it's going to make national news as a random dead chick found in a basement somewhere. I mean, it seems like that's like a scene from Deliverance. That probably happens every Thursday. I'm sure
it's the middle of podunk America. Nobody's really going to be
asking. Does it even say in the movie where the fuck it's actually at?
No, it doesn't. All they say is New England is up north. So I'm guessing somewhere in the south.
There's a bunch of Patriots fans or something. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the thing was once they find the clues, it says
northeast. That's true. Okay, with the shit underneath,
up north.
Underneath the fingertips. That's right. So, they say she's somewhere from up north.
Yeah, I'm guessing somewhere in the south, and we're from a podunk town in the south. No one's asking questions the next day about who this dead body was.
No, you talk about.
In fact, they wouldn't even have to mention her, and nobody would have known no different. So that's one little plot hole. But as we go along, so he brings the sheriff brings the body to Tommy, and what's the last name? Other people.
Caretaker.
No,
I have no idea.
So
I don't know.
They bring it to Tommy, who's Brian Cox's character in the movie. He's the coroner for the town. So they bring her in. Excuse me. Tell him
not the other two bodies for some reason.
And that was another question I had. If he's the best in town, why are not they bringing all four bodies there?
I don't know. They decided to only bring the unidentified body there and try to get.
In the meantime, we get introduced to Tommy and Austin, which is a father-son duo. They work in the corner shop, which is pretty cool. They listen to rock music, really cutting up bodies. That's a pretty cool relationship to have with your dad.
Really is a good aspect.
You know what I mean?
You can't really deny that. You know they're gonna have a special bond going on with that shit. Cause
not many people cut up bodies here. It's like human butchers, but legally.
Yeah, legal butchers. Like you really bond over killing people.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Well, the thing is, the family who dies together stays together. Chucky said that.
I think so. There.
No, the family who slays together stays together.
I think that was it.
That's
I'm pretty sure that's close.
So, but this is obviously, they're both doctors. They're legitimately supposed to cut these bodies up.
Morticians, they're going through
you find out throughout as the opening, his girlfriend
Emma
shows up, and she's talking to him about going to the movies, and that's when the body comes in. So he tells them, "I don't want to leave my dad."
And she's also talking to him about him actually leaving and not being there.
And she's a bitch about it.
Yeah,
too.
she was being a little bit.
She was kind of cunty.
I don't know. I'm glad she's dead.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know that.
Oh well, okay.
We'll
I'm glad it was
later,
implied that she died. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. It might have been an illusion.
But she was really kind of like giving them the shit because you're supposed to be out of this, and we're gonna do better things.
Meanwhile, dude's trying to be there for his dad, who you find out that the mom apparently was suffering from depression.
She made a comment about it's been 2 years.
That's not that long of a time.
No!
It's really not. Like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty sure it'll take me a little bit longer than a couple years to get over my mother dying from depression.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much implied that she committed suicide, but they don't actually come out and say it.
No, they don't come out and say it.
They don't come out and say it.
The thing is, okay, I've been married for almost 10 years, right?
And he's been happy for almost 6.
Close. So, but if my wife and kids, say they go somewhere that I have to work for a weekend, and I can't go with them, I can't sleep at night because I'm so used to having people around me, have someone near me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine at his age, with a son who's finished college, obviously?
Empty nest syndrome is going to be a motherfucker because you figure he's got.
Yeah. So who's to say 2 years has been long enough? You can shag ass and come somewhere with me. We'll run away together.
Yeah.
Bitch, please.
So the son's trying to be a good son to the dad and be a good family member. His bitch of a girlfriend's being pissed off because he has to stay in do an autopsy in the middle of the night. And she leaves. He says to come back in a couple of hours. That he'll be done. They can come back in a couple of hours. They'll catch a late show.
And obviously she's an easy leg.
Apparently so. They made that comment very clear in the very beginning.
Okay, I'll get you some candy and some popcorn, and we'll get a couple of drinks, and then I'll put it in.
Have you been to the movie theater lately? That's like a $60 leg.
True.
I mean, you could almost go down the street and get a $15 better deal.
Yeah.
I mean, movies are fucking expensive.
Yeah, true. So we move on to autopsy.
Yeah.
First thing they find, Brian Cox goes through this whole thing of talking to the camera that's recording the autopsy, telling them how it's a 4-part process, internal observation, external observation, all this crap.
Yeah, and immediately flashed to some more dead titties.
Yes. She was an amazing actress.
She did better than Kristen Stewart did in Twilight.
Much more emotion.
Yeah, it kind of looked like her too, with the mouth kind of open, just laying on her.
Boobs were better though. Her boobs are much better than Kristen Stewart's boobs.
I don't know. I haven't seen Kristen
So first thing they notice is that her wrists and ankles are broken, but there's no external. There's no external injuries obvious on her. And like they said, how do you break someone's ankles and wrists and not leave outside marks? You know what I mean? So that's the first indication that something's really weird here.
Well, yeah, the entire exterior, outside of her body, there's no signs of any outside torment, any bruises, abrasions, scratches. Like everything they find out later on is actually
super skinny though. Super skinny. Got to be the keto diet.
I don't know. That's probably going to be a feminism issue. I mean, why couldn't they have had a plus-size witch? We don't see any plus-size witches.
They're fat shaming the dead body.
I mean, we had one plus-size witch my entire life, and that was Hocus Pocus. It's about the only fat witch I've ever seen.
She had to ride a freaking vacuum cleaner.
That's true. Fat shaming fuckers.
That's a goddamn shame. So as they continue on with the autopsy, they get to finish doing the external evaluation. They open her mouth, find her tongue's been cut out.
Yeah.
Not bitten out. Because at first they thought maybe a drug overdose or something like that, and she bit her tongue.
Yeah.
But he said it had striations in the tongue where somebody had hacked it out, wasn't done cleanly, probably hurt like a bitch. My first initial thought was she was a lesbian, and
it was like a sequel to Teeth.
It was like a hate crime. You know what I mean? Like they just hacked her tongue out.
Yeah.
No more licking.
She must not have did a very good job, because I've never seen any satisfied woman trying to cut a guy's tongue out, or lesbian's tongue out.
Right. So
usually they're just asleep.
Yeah. Just roll over and go to bed. Huh. Well, and keep moving on. And the crazy part is they check the nose, they check the ears, and they say there's no fluids and nothing like that. And as soon as he says that, the nose starts to bleed.
Yeah, which was very well done. Actually, I really enjoyed it.
It was creepy.
It was gross as fuck, but it was very well done.
The blood kind of oozes out, and then next thing you know, this fly comes. And you notice when the fly came out, his legs actually left little leg prints in blood on the nostril as it came out. So the fly takes off, and Emile Hirsch tries to smack it or whatever.
Unsuccessfully, by the way. The fly flies the fuck away.
Yeah. So they try to figure out why her waist is so small. It doesn't match the rest of her frame. They open her up, cut the ribs out. When they open her up, the blood squirts out like the body was under pressure.
Bleeding like a fresh body that just died.
Yeah, which is nasty. The eyes are glazed over or really gray like a really old body though.
Yeah.
So it's kind of contradicting itself. Well, once they open her up, they realize that she's like charred on the inside, like she's been burned. But yet nothing on the outside shows it.
From the lungs, they had noticed the inside of her lungs.
Yeah, the lungs are...
And a lot of her internal organs had scarring and tears and tissue, stuff that had been healed internally with no external marks at all whatsoever where those marks would have been made.
And he makes a comment that she could smoke 10 packs a day for 35 years and not have that kind of damage done to her lungs. Yep. Well, they move on, and he says he figured out that the reason her waist looks like that is because if she wore a corset every day, it would force her waist to be skinnier than the rest of her, which they look great in corsets. Women look good in corsets. Like you could have A cups and them things look rocking in a corset.
Really? I don't know. There's not a lot of corsets working nowadays.
Dude, like you ever see like when period movies, like when they make these chicks wear corsets?
Because all I ever think about whenever you think about corsets and period movies is Titanic, and I mean, I've made worse decisions.
Yeah, I've seen your ex-wife.
Yeah, true.
So
I've seen her lately.
They have from the space station.
So anyway, during this moment they're doing it. There's also there's one part that we skipped over earlier, back when the bitch was there trying to talk the dude out of not helping his father with the autopsy and everything. She actually got an opportunity to walk through the morgue, and the dad allowed her to pull out a couple of different bodies and kind of see them. Well, one of the reasons why that was important for a later on plot point is the dad apparently made a comment about being a traditionalist and tied a bell to the toes of one of the corpses.
Here's the thing, why was it only on one?
That's what I was about to say. That's the only corpse that he tied that bell onto. I think there was three, six. Yeah, there was 3 up top and 3 on bottom. There was 6
But I think
rows,
there were only
and he said that
3 bodies there.
3 or 4 of them were full.
3.
Was it 3?
Yeah.
There was only a bell tied on one of the bodies.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Well, it was a great moment. She tries to lift the towel off the face, and the dad jiggles the toe and everything. The bell rings, and she goes, ah!
Yeah, and what is it? He explains that back in the day, they put the bells on the leg because they couldn't tell the difference if someone was comatose or dead. So if you had somebody waiting to be autopsied and you hear the bell ringing, it meant it wasn't their time yet. So
I think that would have made the zombie apocalypse sound like, Sonic the Hedgehog getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Fucking that would have been really interesting.
That'd been neat.
I'd like to see that.
So as they go along, you knew when they said that it was gonna be a big plot point.
Oh yeah, I knew that bell was coming back later.
It was a red flag right away. So as they move on, you start having weird things happening. The channel on the radio station keeps going back to this crazy ass old school song.
Also, not to cut you off, with the issue with the radio is actually supposedly that was going to be like the part where the illusion was kicking in the movie. Like, if you listen to the radio station whenever they're first getting started with Jane Doe and they're doing it, the radio station clearly says, we have clear skies. It's a beautiful day, blah, blah, blah. Well, they start doing all the shit, and when the radio changes over to that the announcer, it starts talking about flash floods and all the lightning.
3 inches of rain.
3 inches of rain. And not even 10 minutes before, it was talking about how clear the sky was and how beautiful it was. Yeah. That was supposedly part of the illusion that the presence of Jane Doe was bringing into the morgue.
Oh, okay. I didn't even catch that. So I heard at the end, because he comes back and says we've been having clear skies for 3 days.
Yeah.
And you realize it wasn't bad weather, but I didn't catch it at the beginning.
Apparently all a part of that illusion.
So you start getting weird things happening. The radio's changing stations. The lights are flickering. You hear thunder outside.
The creepy music where she's singing about the devil in this old 1950s tune. Saying the devil. I don't even know the song.
I don't even know the song. Yeah,
I remember hearing them.
But like one of and then why do the empty one? The empty body fridge opens up.
There's got to be one. I don't know what they call it.
But he has to go close it back. It'd been much more effective, I think, if it had been a full one.
Well, with a body in there.
Yeah.
Not just empty. I think the implications behind that was just it was open up into darkness and you couldn't see anything inside.
Yeah, true.
I guess that was kind of like the unknown type of thing, maybe.
So right there, Austin starts getting kind of weirded out with everything. Tommy, the dad, he's kind of blowing off. He's a really,
you gotta figure
he's
how hard does it take to freak somebody out who's worked in a fucking morgue their entire life?
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, you should be used to the creepiness by now. He grew up there, you know.
Yeah, I'd imagine a bunch of shady shit has happened.
Well, they continue with her evaluation. They find her. They mentioned earlier that she was missing a molar.
Yeah.
Well, they find it wrapped in this cloth in her stomach with writing on it. Well, for some reason later in the movie, you find out that you have to fold it the right way, and it gives you the Bible verse for Leviticus.
It was interesting the way they did that, but who the fuck you run around just randomly folding like it just fell together?
Yeah,
like
who
that,
sews that right to where you fold it up? It reminded me of like Da Vinci Code.
Yeah,
I believe for Tom Hanks to come out with Wilson.
Yeah, well, why the hell was she? Why was the tooth wrapped in there? I don't understand the significance behind the tooth being wrapped. Like, there's the worst tooth fairy ever.
Right?
Oh, who does that?
Yeah, it takes your tooth. No money for you. I'll light
no money
on fire.
for you. Maybe they asked for, like, gave you a quarter and they wanted $1. You're like, well, I'll fucking show you, bitch, and shoved a rag down their throat with the tooth stuff in it. I don't know. It just seemed like.
But I guess it was. They said it was part of a ritual. It must have been part of a ritual to try to keep her dead. So we move on. All the lights blow out in the morgue. It freaks them out. Finally, Tommy, who's the dad, he's like, fuck this. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, which should have happened like 30 minutes prior.
30 minutes prior. You know, the son multiple times tried to tell him, hey, Dad, let's finish this tomorrow. He's like, no, they need this tonight. Mm-hmm. It has to be done tonight. So finally, they go to the dad's office because they hear shit moving around and they hear the bell. That's when you first time you hear the bell.
You hear the fucking cling.
They're locked in his office and you hear cling, 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 cling. Oh, also, I'm sorry, I skipped this. They had skinned her, the skin on her ribs back.
The fucking...
And you find the tattoos and then the demonic...
On the inside of her skin.
Of her skin. It's like
I'm
demonic...
Very good practical effect. Yeah. I enjoyed that. I thought that was very
It was really well done.
Yeah.
Like all the demonic pictures and rooms and all this other stuff.
Type shit scrolling around.
Yeah, it was creepy. So... That's
I
when
can't
you
get a
realize,
fucking ink pen to write on paper at the time. They're fucking tattooing inside of fucking dead girls.
Without making it come through.
I don't know. That's fucking talent right there.
That's talent. So that's when they decide, fuck this, we're getting out of here. Well, they're in the office, and it's when you first time you hear the little ringing. and you know what's gonna happen. So naturally, Austin looks under the door, and all of a sudden there's a foot.
Of course.
So he hops up, and the dude starts beating on the door, and they drag something in front of the door. Well, earlier in the movie, Tommy had cut his arm while Austin was all fucking off. Yeah. So
I guess he cut it on her ribs after he cut it over.
I don't know. You really didn't see because it was the same arm he was holding the scalpel with.
Yeah.
Which is weird. So he goes into the bathroom by his office. For some reason, leaves the light off.
Guys, we all do in horror movies.
Yeah. He leaves the light off and decides to clean it up. Well, the door slams. He gets jacked the fuck up by what I'm guessing is her. Because it was all burnt up, but it had her eyes.
It had her eyes. That's what he made the comment about that. It had the cloudy gray eyes that supposedly had. I don't.
Yeah, so
it was a kind of a. I don't think that part of the scene was actually necessary.
No, but he got fucked up too. Threw his head into the mirror, and you know what I mean. He ended up all bruised and shit all over his torso.
Wait, is this all before or after? Is the cat dead already?
Yeah, the cat's dead.
The cat's already dead, which was his last link to
his wife.
The wife that fucking allegedly may or may not have killed herself.
Aside from his son.
He's fixing to leave. I mean, he's clinging to the wife. He's clinging to the wife through the cat because it was the wife's cat.
Austin decides, you know what? She's trying to stop us from finding out how to stop her.
Yeah.
So at this point, they realize that, you know what? This bitch is not completely dead. And she's the reason for all of this. So
let's go piss her off.
Yeah, let's go piss her off, pretty much.
Essentially.
So they take off. They go back. They get back to the morgue. At this point, this bitch done lit the furnace back up for the cremator.
Yep.
And there's smoke billowing out, which the whole point of having a crematorium was it burns so hot there is no smoke.
You would think, but I mean,
what's burning? It's like she threw tires in there.
I don't know what she actually.
It fills the hallways with smoke, and they go through.
Because at this point, the cat's fucking gone. The cat is ash. Yeah, the cat's ash.
So they roll through the hallways, go through the smoke, and he gets his ass whipped again. Dude, the dad gets fucked up again.
I'm telling you, he pissed off the demons. That's what the fuck happens, man.
So they drag him in. They finally get back in the room. And they
barricade the door with a fucking a metal broomstick, I guess.
Yeah. So then that's when they saw, you know what? We're gonna light her ass on fire. We're gonna bring her to the crematorium.
I'm a big advocate of fire.
Yeah.
That was a stupid idea.
Here's my thing. Going to the crematorium was a great idea.
Going to the crematorium? Why did they light her on fire on the fucking exam?
Well, because she closed the door and locked her when they couldn't get out.
Dude, fuck that. No.
So he lights her ass up on fire there. Anybody who knows anything about fire knows that pouring alcohol, whatever, on her, lighting her on fire is not going to do anything to the body.
No, it's going to burn the alcohol off of the body, not the body itself.
And so, naturally, she's fine. Nothing happens except it burns all the fucking evidence of what happened. It burns the fucking camera and all the pictures.
Oh, yeah, kind of destroyed all of the autopsy.
So, yeah, that was probably the worst special effects in the movie, by the way. That fire looked really fake.
I think it's
because it went on the ceiling, it looked like Photoshop.
I think it's because it was more like a CGI as opposed to a practical effect. I don't think it was done quite up to standard as well. Like we're kind of used to, I guess.
Yeah, it really wasn't done well.
I mean, you also got to figure this isn't a movie that went to a major cinema somewhere. It wasn't a wide release. It was released on Netflix, which nothing against Netflix. I love Netflix, but a lot of the movies that are going straight to Netflix kind of have the.
I disagree. I mean, look at Stranger Things, dude. Stranger Things has a great
Stranger Things also has a great budget. Not all the movies that are released on Netflix have the budget to do the things that those did.
True. So they move on. They realize they didn't burn her.
Of course.
They try to flee the morgue again. They get to the elevator.
Well.
And as they get to the elevator gets stuck and they start hearing the ringing again.
Oh, of course. They hear the little fucking
ringing. And the ringing. What? At this point, your boy has the axe with him.
Yeah.
And the dad takes the axe from him, and when the fucking thing gets there, and you see it, is the dude with the face blown off.
Yeah.
When the light flashes, all of a sudden he swings the axe, catches it, and you find out afterwards it was his girlfriend Emma.
Yeah, she had came back to go visit for the movies.
Yeah. And he smoked her with a fucking axe. So they go back and hide out in the elevator. That's when the dad starts talking about how depressed the mom was and how he feels responsible for it. He should have known. He made so many mistakes. Well, they go back to try to finish her ass off. And
amazingly, after the lid on fire, she still has pubic hair.
Yeah. Still has pubes.
No.
That should have told you right there she was that old.
Yeah, she was really fucking old. That was some coarse ass pubic hair.
Like Bush.
I got fire retarded pubic hair.
Yeah, that's how that shit rolled back then.
That's some fucking gangsta ass pubic hair. That's probably like the best preventative against an STD. Because
She
if that shit ain't fire crotch, that wasn't happening.
Dude, that was like a Brillo pad on her snatch.
Couldn't have been comfortable.
No way.
No.
So they go back in. They're trying to find a way to get rid of her and all this. Well, the dad realizes that
there's no way they can stop him without one of them dying.
Yeah,
essentially.
pretty much. And he decides, you know what? I've made all these mistakes. I need to make it right somehow. So he decides to sacrifice himself by telling her, "I won't fight you anymore. Take me." Well, of course, she acts on it. See, his wrist breaks and her wrist get fixed.
Her wrist here, that was actually well done.
That was well done. And then his ankles break, her ankles fixed back.
And for some reason, his fucking tongue didn't fall off. I was really waiting for that.
No, I know, right?
I was really waiting for the tongue to fall off.
He does the thing where he breathes and the smoke comes out like he's getting charred on the inside.
The lungs issue.
And he falls to the ground and he's telling Austin, he's like, "Help me, end it. Well, Austin stabs him.
In a moment of mercy, trying to stop his father from suffering.
Yeah, he stabs
absolutely.
it. Well, Austin starts hearing the sheriff banging on the doors to get into the morgue.
Yeah.
And Austin thinks that's his savior, takes off running, gets up to the doors, and he can't open the doors. And all of a sudden, in the sheriff's voice, the same creepy ass little song, the sheriff starts singing this song.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he realizes, oh shit, something's not right. So he looks down the staircase, sees nothing. When he turns around, his dad's standing there.
His dad, like, already
and
starting
it
to
scares the
decompose.
shit out of me. He falls back and he falls down and dies, right? Cut to the next day, the sheriff's office is there,
Everybody
the
shows
coroner vans are there and all that. And once again, the sheriff has a crime scene he cannot explain.
Yep.
And he tells the deputy, "Get her out of my freaking out of my county. I don't even want her here." So they take off with the body, which, by the way, they only roll out 3 bodies.
Yeah, they rolled out the body of Jane Doe, the body of the dad, and the body of the son. They didn't roll out
The girlfriend.
the body of the girlfriend.
So it makes you wonder, was she even really there?
Or was it just one of those illusions that made you think?
Exactly.
I don't know.
So as they roll them out, for some reason she's not in the body bag and back to this van. You notice that in the last scene?
Yeah, she's just on
She's
the table.
just on this table with a sheet over her tits, which, I mean, at least they covered her tits fine.
That's the only fucking time in the movie her tits were covered, other than when the body bag before they originally exposed it.
Which, yeah, they expose like
And they just have enough to show the tits.
yeah, like a nice dress, and it was just kind of cut here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the movie, like, here's her boobs.
Yeah, that's what we need. Sexy body bags, like
Right.
with the slit up the thigh.
Yeah.
It just goes up here. We're good to go. Next
So
Halloween.
as the van's rolling out, you got the guys on the phone with his girlfriend or his wife or whatnot, and the radio station changes to her
That
creepy little
creepy
song.
ass fucking song.
And the camera pans to her, and then it pans down to her feet, and you just see her toe move, and that's the end of the movie.
And cut the blank.
Now, we discussed this before we taped, and my opinion, Austin pretty much guaranteed his own death, okay? Because his dad had told her, take it from me, just spare him. Well, the thing is, he never died. He killed his father before she finished what she was doing. And personally, I believe that had he not killed his dad, she might have come back to life.
Well, that's the thing. If she hadn't,
And that may be why she didn't take his tongue.
it could be, I guess. But you also think of the fact that, okay, so the dad dies, she gets everything that she needs to rebuild herself up into a reanimated corpse. What's the next step? She's not just gonna fucking stand around the morgue and be like, "Hey, thanks for helping me out, guys. I'm gonna go catch the shuttle bus." Like, something's gonna happen. She's gonna start
And we
stabbing
missed
them.
another thing, by the way. They take a piece of her brain and put it in the microscope and realize
Oh,
her brain is still active.
Still activity in the brain.
So this bitch is alive.
Well,
She's alive.
she's alive, but I mean, so is a vegetable. I mean, you can be completely paralyzed and be alive.
True, but at the same time, if she can regenerate completely, she can come back and she'll take over the fucking world.
Some Deadpool shit.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think that had she actually reanimated that little county that they were in, like, would have seen a lot of retribution for the shit that she had gone through in her life. It would have been, and I mean, you never know. That might actually be
A badass, yeah.
It might be a sequel in the workings. I'd like to see that. Starts off with the ambulance crash somewhere, and she pops up in there's no
Halloween
dead body.
for that bitch.
Oh yeah, right.
Halloween for that bitch where the ambulance is wrecked and the body's gone.
Yep, I can see that. I'd actually watch that movie. I think that would be an interesting addition to
Have
it.
her with a priest with a super soaker with holy water.
Yeah, but for the love of God, put some clothes on her.
Yeah, she can be dressed in this one. We've seen
She
enough.
needs to be dressed.
We've seen enough. Pick them up. We've seen them. You know what I mean? We all know that one chick that shows her boobs way too much. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can pick them up. We've all seen them. So, guys, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. I really enjoyed this movie, especially for a Netflix movie. It was very atmospheric. It was very dark. It was creepy. There are moments where I was creeped out. I gotta say, I was really creeped out.
I'm actually gonna. I think this is one of the few times I'm actually gonna jump your rating. I'm actually gonna give it a little bit higher, and I'll jump up to a 3.5. Almost close to a 4. I actually really enjoyed it. Aside from a couple of plot holes and significant things, I think, like maybe 1 or 2 things I would have done differently. All in all, I actually really thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I did enjoy the aspect of witchcraft, as opposed to just blaming it on random demons not having.
Yeah, I thought that was really neat too.
Really
you don't see many really good witch movies.
The reference to the Bible verse in there, I loved. There was a lot of different aspects of it that I really care for. Now, there could have been some things done better, but I'm going to give it a hard 3 out of 5.
And
3.5 out of 5.
And see, for me, like, a lot of people complain about the ending. I don't see any other way any other way you could have ended it.
I think anybody would have been critical no matter how you would have ended it. I think they did really well with it, though.
I agree. So, all right, guys, y'all check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell so you find out when we got new videos coming out. Y'all have a good one.
Why didn't you tell me you like horses?
Because they're really hard to get people out of. They look really good when they're wearing them.
Yeah.
But you have to have like a fucking, you know, seatbelt cutters. You got to get one of those to get a chick out of.
There's no such thing as a colonial quickie.